but Crawford would also fight southpaw. So this gives us a nice straight right lead. That's why Canelo's throwing those straight right leads, because as you guys know, it's kryptonite southpaws. And Bud's both, but he fights a lot of times southpaw when he's fighting a conventional fighter. He likes giving him that element of surprise.
The 6th or 7th round, it's a sparring session for him. You know, he just throwing bombs away and not caring about what they do to him. But he's got excellent defense. Unfortunately, his feet don't move as well as I would like for him to move them, but his upper body is just unbelievable. He slips punch.
A shocking leak has surfaced in the world of boxing, showcasing rare sparring footage of boxing legends Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford from several years ago. In the footage, the pair battled it out in the gym while Canelo prepared for Arislandi Lara. Canelo invited Crawford to his gym to help him prepare for Lara, as he was a fighter with intense mobility like Crawford.
But it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your
I'm taking him. And ain't nothing you're gonna be able to do about it come fight night.
I know Turkey is in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You're gonna see.
The footage, which has generated significant buzz in the boxing community, offers a unique glimpse into the skills and strategies of these two boxing icons, and it gave the perfect scene of how their fight will be in September. The sparring session, reportedly held during a joint training camp, highlights the intense focus and dedication of both fighters.
Time's a charm, as they say. Canelo counters after the 3rd time something is repeated. There's another straight right, lead by Canelo. There's another straight right, so Canelo, see now Canelo, let's see this again. There, this.
Canelo Alvarez, known for his exceptional power and technical skill, is seen exchanging blows with Terence Crawford, who showcases his lightning-quick reflexes and razor-sharp footwork. The footage reveals a fascinating dynamic between the two fighters, with each pushing the other to their limits. Alvarez's powerful hooks and uppercuts were countered by Crawford's swift jabs and agile movements, as the sparring session demonstrated the high level of preparation and respect both fighters have for each other's abilities. This leaked footage has further intensified the arguments regarding the upcoming fight between the two boxing stars. The argument is no longer sentimental, nor is it about just the size difference. The sparring has attracted more analytic and balanced arguments from boxing lovers.
Jabbing, tapping jabs, tapping body shots. And Canelo springs out and throws a nice combination and spins off. Ooh, Canelo, a little showboat. Distracting with his hand and then throwing a punch with that same hand. Nice jab, and then he gets jabbed right back.
Fans and analysts alike are eagerly discussing the possibilities of the matchup, considering the contrasting styles and strengths of these two elite fighters. This fight is more technical and tricky than we all thought. I think it's going to be more of who's got the best technique on the night, and not about power or weight, a fan wrote. Another added, Canelo hasn't knocked out any opponent in years. It's hardly possible that he knocks Crawford out. If he couldn't knock him out when they sparred while he was still stronger, it's too late for that now.
But right now, I'm not training hard. I'm not even training, really. You know, I don't want to overtrain because me personally, when I go in the gym, I give my all, and I don't want to burn myself out.
A third fan quipped, I feel Crawford will stun Canelo. It's good to be really intense and crazy. It's about the will, the skill, the mentality. Nothing will matter more than these in that ring. One more person remarked, it'll be the best fight of all time. Both coming with advantages and things to lose. It'll be highly competitive. Records and reputations are on the line for this.
Punches very well. He's got great hands. He parries very well. And he lands big shots. He may not land as many, but he lands big shots that hurt.
In the same week, where the two fighters exchanged heated words and went as far as a shove, the leaked sparring footage serves as a reminder of their intense rivalry ahead of fight day. While the authenticity of the footage and the circumstances surrounding its leak remain unclear, one thing is certain, the boxing community is abuzz with excitement.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You're gonna see.
We'll
you know
see.
it.
We'll see.
In the bout billed as the fight of the century, Alvarez dismissed the notion it could be a close contest with American Crawford stepping up from light middleweight. Alvarez once talked down the blockbuster bout, believing he had nothing to gain from beating a man who started his career at lightweight. So the Mexican great was probed on the damage a loss to two-time undisputed champ Crawford would have on his iconic record. But cool as ice Canelo, 34, replied, "He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not going to beat me. I think this fight is going to be in the history books of boxing for sure."
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
He's a great fighter, but he's not Canelo. I have the experience, Alvarez said at a news conference. They only focus on my power, but I have more than that. This fight is going to be one of the best fights on my record. Alvarez, 34, may be the younger man by 3 years, but having made his professional debut aged 15 and with 11 world titles, 27 world title fights, and 67 bouts in total under his belt, the Mexican has been cast as the man to pass the torch to Crawford? "He's not gonna beat me, don't worry about it," Alvarez answered at one stage, which drew a laugh and a smile from Crawford, who replied, "For sure these belts are coming home with me."
On the streets, you and Canelo, what would it look like?
Come on, man. Y'all know what I do. I ain't got to talk about it. On the streets, I'm me against anybody. I ain't never going to say another man going to whoop me. So, you know what I mean? That's your answer right there.
I guess in Guadalajara, you think it'd be a little different on the streets if Terence came to town?
I think every city, every place is different, no? It's different. But we don't talking about the streets. We're talking about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing. So that's different, way different than the streets.
26 bouts separate the rivals, but Crawford too has a record most fighters could only dream of, with 19 consecutive world title bouts and a two-weight undisputed champion. Crawford promised he would become the first male three-weight undisputed champion, in a classy nod to his American counterpart, Claressa Shields, who has already achieved the feat in the women's code. "I'm taking them, and there ain't nothing you can do about it come fight night, I promise you. You see, I'm different from all the other ones." Canelo, who has won titles all the way from 154 pounds to 175 pounds, countered, "You don't look different, nothing different," describing himself as a winner and telling Crawford that nothing distinguishes him from the rest. "I'm different, you're going to see," Crawford said in reply.
However I got to fight, I'm going to win. Simple as that. I'm not going to let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running, you know, I could tell you that. But I will be, you know, doing a lot of touching.
Get me wrong. He's a great fighter, like I say, he's not Canelo. Obviously, I'm being in this situation.
Alvarez made his pro debut aged 15 in 2005, while Crawford was 20 years old when he made his in 2008. Crawford, who is being publicly backed by Alal Sheikh, said this is the fight he always wanted. "I called Canelo out. He is the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. The Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Oscar De La Hoya, we both came up in that era, and he got the chance to fight them. I wasn't able to get those mega fights. This is my mega fight. This is my moment." Crawford has not returned since last August, when he beat Israel Madrimov, 30, for the World Boxing Association light middleweight title. Meanwhile, Canelo regained his undisputed 168-pound throne with victory over William Skull, 32, in May in Riyadh.
Excited. I'm very excited, motivated, because this is all about. I want to make history, and I'm very excited for this fight. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the.
He now headlines on Netflix at the Las Vegas Raiders, pound $1,065,000 seater stadium against Crawford, who says there is no way he loses to Canelo, in the ring or otherwise. He said, "Come on, man, you know what I do. I don't have to talk about it. On the streets, me against anybody. I ain't ever gonna say another man can whoop me. That's your answer there." But Canelo hit back. "We're not talking about the streets, we're talking about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing."
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. It's simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And is any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
After that brief back and forth, press conference host Todd Grisham pressed both fighters on their mindsets ahead of the upcoming clash, and Crawford said his focus isn't on what might happen if the fight goes to the scorecards. Instead, he's looking to control the controllables. I can't focus on the judges. I've just got to focus on doing what I can do and controlling what I can control inside the ring, and that's going out there and winning the fight decisively, he said. Like I said before, any fighter can be knocked out. Canelo's got a granite chin. He's tough. He's durable. We've seen him hurt a couple of times, but not to the point where it's not respected. But given the right circumstances, anybody can get knocked out. I'm always going to rise on the big occasions. I always did my whole career. This is my moment, and I'm not letting Canelo take that away from me. Simple as that. With Crawford moving up 2 weight classes to face him, Canelo is more than aware of the challenge his opponent faces.
It's not.
A lot of fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
But the Mexican superstar has been successful on several occasions while being the smaller man in the ring, and said that size won't be a consideration for him as he prepares to face an undefeated 2-weight undisputed champion on September 13th. I've been in his position before, and I'm not thinking about that, said Canelo. I'm just going to do my job and take everything seriously and not think about it. Smaller or bigger, I always prepare myself for the best fighter out there. I'm a winner. I'm always thinking about the win, and I'm coming to win. My mindset is different, and I'm very thankful with Netflix, with Turkey, with all the guys involved in this fight, because for me, it's all about making history, and I'm glad to be here.
When would you say, from memory, that you first thought this fight was a real possibility, that you started thinking about this fight actually happening?
Well, I started thinking about it, a couple of years ago when they started talking about Spence fighting Canelo. Then just, sizing him up, like, all right, how tall is he? How long his arms and things like that. Just sizing him up like that and going to his fights and things like that.
With the fighters setting the stage for their epic clash, the two protagonists signed off by sending messages to their respective fan bases ahead of fight night. They know I always come to fight, I always come with my best, and I just thank you for them, for all the support, said Canelo. And I hope they will be there, watching or in the arena, cheering for me and enjoying the win. Crawford rallied his fan base to arrive dressed to impress as they make the pilgrimage from Omaha, Nebraska to Las Vegas. And Bud vowed to make history by dethroning Canelo and adding another monumental achievement to his resume.
There's a lot of experts that think Canelo's not the same fighter. His punch output's a lot less. What do you think, considering the last 12 months or so? Is he the same fighter he was maybe a few years ago?
I think he is. I just think, he just wasn't up for the skull fight. And I think, different fighters bring different, energies out of other fighters.
A lot of people are judging you on the Madrimov fight, saying you struggled moving up in weight. You're going further up in weight, and they're saying that's going to go against you based on the Madrimov fight. How do you kind of reply to that?
I just tell them, suit up, he said. We're about to bring some more jewelry home, and it's going to be an exciting day for boxing. History will be made. Terence Crawford will be the first male boxer to become a 3-weight undisputed champion of the world, and I mean that. The fight will be staged at NFL side Las Vegas Raiders Allegiant Stadium in Vegas, which holds 65,000 people. It will also be the first event that UFC President Dana White's new boxing outfit will promote, a partnership with Saudi's Turki Al Sheikh that almost collapsed before being revived in recent weeks.
Oscar De La Hoya wasted my time with this question.
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick. And after
Al Sheikh himself was given a seat at the top table while White was not present. The press conference began with opening remarks from His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh, who revealed that he'd had dinner with both fighters on Thursday evening. But now that those pleasantries have concluded, the real business of preparing for the fight begins in earnest. I want to thank the two legends, great fighters. In the end, it happened, thanks to God, he said. Before 12 o'clock, we had dinner together, and that's it. They were professional yesterday in front of me, and after 12 o'clock, the prestige and everything disappeared. Now they will start.
After that, we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. You waste, Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport number one in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
The chairman of the General Entertainment Authority has been the hand of power and driver of incredible Saudi investment in boxing in the last 18 months, but has not often sat among the fighters at public events. Al Sheikh outlined his demands to two of the greatest fighters of their generation in the opening remarks, slamming Tom and Jerry fights and insisting they must deliver him smashing face. The beginning of a three-city press tour that includes Las Vegas and New York, gathered media only asked Al Sheikh questions before he left the stage. It took almost 25 minutes before either fighter spoke. Saudi Arabia has invested huge sums of money into sport in an effort, the kingdom says, to diversify their income revenues as a nation, but continue to face accusations of using sport as a vehicle for sport washing and propaganda. But with Al Sheikh set to embark on a new venture of super fights broadcast on Netflix and creating a new promotional entity to do so, the Saudi investment into boxing shows little sign of slowing down.
Yeah, this is what I want from you to say his name. I decided with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick. And after that, we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. You waste. Oscar De La Hoya.
I want to speak to you about some of Turkey's comments. He said he doesn't want Tom and Jerry, people running away in the ring. What did you make of that?
I agree with that. You know, people want to see a good fight. And I agree with that.
Do you think
because you know people come and spend money to see a great fight, and if the other fighter come and run all the night and don't make a good fight, it's deceptional.
Do you think he saw your fight with Skull and
He is Turki Al Sheikh, also known as His Excellency, the central figure in Saudi Arabia, becoming a big player in professional boxing as a deep-pocketed promoter. I hate Tom and Jerry's kind of boxing, Al Sheikh said, referring to the famous animated series as well as boxers who run from their opponents. I am sure Alvarez and Crawford will deliver for me smashing face and blood, and this is boxing. He did not provide specifics, but his message was clear. Alvarez and Crawford will be expected to deliver, despite recent history. Terence Crawford, faces off against Canelo Alvarez during a press conference in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, ahead of their super middleweight title fight in September. Alvarez is coming off a lackluster victory over William Skull by unanimous decision in May. The crowd booed, as Skull spent most of the fight running from Alvarez, who exerted modest effort to chase down Skull. It also happened to be the first fight of Alvarez's 5-fight deal with the Saudis.
I waste my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport number one in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
All right, on the left-hand side here.
Eventually came to the conclusion.
We talk after about that, and it's very sad. But you know, it is what it is.
I know.
Crawford will do that.
I hope not, because we expect a great fight, the fight of the century, right? So I hope not.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Crawford has not fought since August 2024, and that was an unforgettable bout too. He beat Israel Madrimov by unanimous decision. Like Alvarez, he heard boos during a fight that included no knockdowns. Al Sheikh suggested he didn't want a 12-by-12 ring to ensure adequate action for the fight. But apparently he thought it would be a good idea to have dinner with Alvarez and Crawford before the press conference. We talked yesterday, and they are professional, Al Sheikh said later in the press conference. But I think starting from last night, they know what they need to do. Neither Alvarez or Crawford sounded as if Al-Sheikh's words will have great impact when they fight at Allegiant Stadium, home of the Las Vegas Raiders, for the undisputed super middleweight championship.
You heard His Excellency saying no more Tom and Jerry, no more running, but you're moving up 2 weight classes. It's not going to be smart for you to stand there and hammer it out with this guy. So how do you kind of balance that, not running, but being elusive in fighting Canelo?
However I gotta fight, I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running.
Crawford, 37, is moving up 2 weight classes, 14 pounds, to fight Alvarez at super middleweight. His standing toe-to-toe with Alvarez would enthrall the fans and perhaps create the fight that Al-Sheikh wants. But don't count on it. "I'm not going to let somebody else force or tell me how to fight," Crawford said. "When I've been fighting my whole life, I won't be running. I could tell you that, but I will be doing a lot of touching." And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.